All right, we're finally here.
Hello.
How are you going, Tamae?
I am good. How are you?
I am great. Welcome to the For the Creatives podcast.
Thanks for having me.
How do you feel? Nervous, ready, confident?
I feel ready.
Yeah?
I feel ready.
I mean, it's just a conversation. It's just a chat.
Just a couch talk.
It's not a it's not a what's it called now? Is school? Is it ATAR?
Exams?
Yeah, your exam.
Yeah. He was homeschooled, okay?
I still had exams.
Sure. Sorry, I bully Elisha a lot about being homeschooled.
Yeah, a few people do. It's all right. I'm the one with the podcast.
Excuse me. Actually, I have a podcast too, so.
All right, we'll get to that. Well, why don't you introduce yourself to the listeners? So, who are you?
Well, my name is Tamae. Tamae Marshke, I don't know.
Tamae Marshke? How do you spell that?
M-A, are you trying to steal my identity? M-A-R-S-C-H-K-E.
Okay. How would you describe yourself?
I am a human being.
That's crazy.
Crazy news, right? First time hearing that. I am a female. I'm 17 years old and I'm in grade 12 and I would say a way to describe myself, I would say passionate.
Passionate? Yeah, passionate human being.
Yeah, passionate about a lot of things.
What are some of the things that you're passionate about?
I'm passionate about probably too many things. I'm passionate about
Too many things. Can't list any of them.
Give me a second. It's just too many to compile a list.
All right, I'll make it easy. Dogs versus cats.
Dogs. Oh my goodness.
Pineapple on pizza.
Yes.
Is water wet?
Yes.
Is the earth flat?
No. Very passionate about that one.
All right. Anything else?
I'm passionate. I would say generally I'm passionate about Jesus, movement, and community and people.
That's cool. Cool. Nice. So you're a passionate human being. You got a lot of different things. I'm going to keep using that word, passionate.
I was just in the moment. Now I can't get away from it.
You've got a lot of things. You've got a lot of things on your plate. So you've got a lot of things that you like to do and that you do. Mm-hmm. And I think it'd be cool to share some of that with everyone.
Yeah.
So what are some of your more creative endeavors at the moment?
Yeah. At the moment, I do a little bit of songwriting. I do a little bit of... I have choreographed a few things for musicals and stuff like that, dance-wise. I also am in the process of releasing a podcast, which is exciting.
Your own podcast?
My own
cool.
podcast.
With a friend?
Yes, with my lovely friend Keely. And I also... What else do I do? Oh... there's so many things, you guys. I also would love to start a candle business. It is
and you
a long-term goal.
You sort of started that.
It's a long-term goal, but...
Tell us a bit about that.
Okay, so I started off probably it was definitely last year. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to start a candle business. So I brought everything, spur of the moment. I'm very
passionate?
Yeah, that's passionate. Yeah, that is the word. What's that word when you're
spur of the moment?
You go ahead straight away.
Spontaneous.
Yeah. I'm a very spontaneous person, and once I set my mind to something, I'm just like, okay, let's do it. Let's go ahead. So I didn't really spend much time thinking that maybe I didn't have enough time being in grade 11, going into grade 12, etc. But I was like, let's start a business. Let's do it. I can do it. And I brought everything. And then I thought, making candles, how hard can it be? I was like, so wrong. So
just wax,
wrong.
Right?
Just wax. So I've made a few candles. One of them has worked. Wow. Who would have thought? No.
Oh, you should have brought it. We could have had it
yeah, I should have brought the one candle that worked
here.
out. But I just found that I have so much on my plate that it's hard to actually, do things, I want to do it well.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just release a half-hearted business. Yeah. So I want to love everything that I have and love all my products that I'll sell. So I'm just working on finding the time for that, and at the moment I definitely don't. So it was something started at the start, but definitely after I graduate, it's something that I'll be working on and get up and running and stuff.
That's cool. So being in grade 12, last year of school, which is, how's that?
It's stressful. Everyone tells you that grade 11's harder, but they're lying. You get to grade 12 and you go, why? Why do I have to do this to get a sheet of paper? But it's good because I know that it is a wise thing to stay in school. Don't drop out, stay in school.
I mean, I dropped out.
Yeah, well, you were homeschooled. So no, I'm kidding. You can do all things whether you dropped out or stayed in school. But if you're able to, I think staying in school is a wise choice. But it is stressful, but I know that it's preparing me for uni and things after school too.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good perspective on it. That's cool. So how do you choose what you are going to spend time on? Like where you allocate your time? How do you work through that?
Yeah. I think I have to definitely, it's something still I'm working on. Like I'm definitely not perfect at saying no to things or prioritizing, you know, what's on my list. Even saying no to myself, like Tamae, I know you want to do that, but actually you can't right now.
What did you say the other day? Someone told you about no? About the word no?
Yeah, no is my biggest weapon or something. What was it? No's your biggest superpower or something.
Yeah, I think that's what you said. Yeah.
That was Elisha, guys. No.
Was it me?
Yeah.
I thought it was...
Didn't you text me saying no is your biggest superpower?
Okay, yeah.
But no is your biggest weapon. That's probably a really harsh way to put it. Maybe we shouldn't include
But it's true.
I definitely, for myself, I know that I put God's at the top of my list. And then everything else kind of falls into place, and I have to decide what's more important to me and how I would prioritize that. So I know that school at the moment is something that I'll prioritize, but probably in grade 10 it wasn't something so much on my priority list. So at the moment, school should be up there, whether it always gets prioritized or not. That's another thing. But then I kind of go into what is needed at this point in time. Yeah. And then what I want to spend my time on more than another. So I worked on my Pilates certificate, bar instructing.
Yeah, that's right. You've got that as well.
That's another thing. So this year I decided that that's something that was a priority for me. Yeah. Because it's something that I can use after school as well. And it's something that I can work during school with, but it's something I'm passionate about as well. Yeah. Because I'm a passionate person.
Movement was one of your values. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something that I've chosen to have as a priority. And now that that's completed, I'm kind of moving on to my podcast, which is the next priority. But I think taking definitely one thing at a time is how I'm personally working through it. But for me, it's like three main things. So I have three main things that I'm focusing on, and that's like school, church, and one extra thing, so a podcast or my business or something else like that. Yeah.
A more creative endeavor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool. I think it's really important for us, and it's even in grade 12, like even more so grade 11, to be intentional with like what we put our time on.
100%.
Like, I mean, you could be putting half of your time on going skating, playing basketball or something, but for me, I think it's most important to be intentional about it. So if you're doing that, at least you know that's what you're doing and you're making a decision to do that.
Yeah. 100%. Intentional is actually my favorite word. So.
Yeah. Not passionate?
Not passionate, intentional. Yeah, I'd say it's very important to be intentional about all of your decisions, because one decision ultimately affects the rest of yours. So
it's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure, but you make so many decisions without realizing it. But if you just made one simple decision differently, your whole world could look different. It's crazy when you think about it.
And I think in your position in grade 12 and in school, you probably feel a bit of that pressure looking forward, do you? About like what subjects you choose or what you...
Yeah, it's kind of too late to feel the pressure. I'm kind of like, I can't really change what I picked. You just have to deal with it and go. But it's too late. So.
I think one thing, looking back a bit for myself, I think one thing that you'll find as well is that some of those, or a lot of those decisions that seem super important at the time, don't matter too much in the future.
I have a rule.
Yeah.
it's like if it doesn't matter in 5 years, it's not really worth worrying about.
Yeah.
Like, to an extent.
Yeah, it's a good baseline. It's
Yeah.
a good like guide. Yeah.
Obviously, there are exceptions. But
Yeah.
5 years is like, especially in school, if you're stressed about an exam, is it going to affect you in 5 years? And it's kind of like, yes, it may, or it may not. So, yeah.
No, that's cool. So with everything that you're doing, is there one thing that you would say you love the most? Like one thing, like if it was making candles, if it was teaching a bar class, or being part of a bar class, or church or something. Like I know it's hard.
Yeah. Like, you're killing me.
What comes to mind straight away?
I'd say overall the arts, as like I'm cheating, but
That's very broad.
the arts. Well, I'm in creativity wise, I cannot paint or draw to
same.
save my life. Like,
Same.
don't ask me. I will have a mental breakdown over it because I can't.
You know those
do
like
it.
stick houses and stick people?
Mm-hmm.
That's the epitome of my talent when it comes to drawing.
Like, let me tell you a story, right? In grade 9, I moved schools.
Yeah.
And I moved from Shalom, which is like this great performing arts school. And then I moved over to my school that I'm at now, and they...
Why did you move school?
Oh, my dad got a new job. I just felt like a change. There was nothing
Yeah.
wrong with my schools at all.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I made the change. But yeah, I had to go into an art class because all the others were full.
Yeah.
And I just remember having the worst time of my life, sitting there trying to paint when I knew that I couldn't, and it was horrible. But it's good to give things a go. It's good.
At the same time though, like I can't paint or draw, like you were saying, to like the standards that we have, or like, you know, but it's art is also so subjective.
I know. I
Like-
could definitely do abstract art.
Yeah. Have you seen like there are paintings out there that sell for like millions, and I'm like, I could make that. I could have done that.
Yes. I
It's
like see some artworks, and look, I don't think creativity has a price, but I look at some of them and I'm like, okay. I think
what am I
I
doing
could have done
with
that when
my
I was 3, but
Yeah.
you know, it's subjective, surely, but yeah.
No, that's true.
I think the arts, excluding art, actually,
So
is what I would love the most.
the musical art?
Yeah, so
Music
that's like drama, music, dance.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
all of the performing arts
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, not visual art, but
Yeah.
performing
Okay,
arts.
cool. Nice.
Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, live what?
That's how I live my
Live,
life.
love,
Live, laugh, love. It's kind of
live,
like a joke.
Laugh, love.
Do you remember that
LLL.
TikTok trend?
TikTok what? TikTok trend.
TikTok trend where, anyway, they found live, laugh, love in all of their houses
Live,
everywhere
love,
because their
laugh.
parents just have like all these signs, right?
Yeah.
And it's just been like, especially in grade 12, all my friends will know, it's just been it. Like, live, laugh, love is the motto that we get through life with.
Like
live,
when you
laugh,
fail
love.
an exam and you're
Yeah.
crying in the corner,
Yeah.
and you're just smiling through your tears.
No,
Live,
literally,
love, love.
I get like results back and I go, oh, live, laugh, love.
Live, love,
Or
love.
like I'll find out like, I don't know, that I need a new tire that's going to cost me heaps of money for my car, and I'll just be like, oh,
Live,
live, laugh, love. Like any situation, it works. It gets you through the pain. I'm telling you. Try it out, guys.
I can just imagine you like starting to become more independent, moving out of home. You get a bill, you look at it, and you're like, "Oh, live, love, laugh." And it's like you don't pay it. You just like they call you up.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, you gotta pay this. You gotta pay this bill."
Hey, how about you try live, laugh, and love?
YOLO. See ya.
See, your YOLO of your generation is
We are the
live, laugh,
same
love.
generation.
I
We are
just feel
Generation
like-
Z.
I just feel like we're not, but
Whoa. I'm not that. Yeah.
okay, no, we definitely are because we both weren't allowed to watch SpongeBob, so I'm glad that I can relate to someone on that.
I don't know if that's a generation
That
thing.
is
or
because
if
if
that's
we weren't in the same generation, I don't think SpongeBob would have existed.
Oh, fair.
So that's how
Fair
I know
enough.
you're in my generation, because we, you know, can bond over the fact that we were deprived of our childhood without SpongeBob.
I mean, I did watch it, but like I wasn't allowed to.
You disobeyed your parents? Wow,
Yeah.
good role model, Elisha.
You've never done that before, ever.
No, I actually never watched SpongeBob because I probably
disobey
didn't
your
have the
parents.
capacity to just be able to watch it, but I didn't watch it. And I've actually never disobeyed my parents my entire whole life. Hey, Mum, if you're listening, I've never disobeyed you.
We might have to call her, like do a phone call.
Oh, I feel like that's not necessary. I feel like that's
Call
not
a friend, call a mum.
Yeah, no, let's not do that. But
so if money wasn't an option, and like looking forward to the future, if money wasn't an option at all, what would you do? What would you choose as like a career, or just
do you mean like money had?
You just never had to worry about money.
Okay, great. What would I do?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I have so many dreams.
Go for it.
Okay, first of all, if it's close future, definitely open the candle business, get the podcast up and running. Keely and I have a podcast room at the moment, but I'd love to branch that out into a studio.
Yeah.
I'd love to also have a songwriting studio. I'd love, but this is my biggest dream.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever actually have the motivation to ever achieve this, because I am a person with a lot of motivation, I would say, but this is very hard. I'd love to open my own law firm.
That's big. That's big.
Yeah. It's maybe too big.
Well, I find that, like with this question, I find the answers are quite interesting, because a lot of the times in life, most of us find ourselves doing things that they're like situational, because we got the job, or because we were in the right place at the right time. And we're doing a job because we need the money. We need to pay bills. And then you have a family, or you have kids, or you have a wife. And you like, it becomes harder and harder for us to quit, or to actually spend more time doing what we're actually interested in. So your first answer was a candle making business. So when I think of it, I'm thinking of a candle making business in the terms of profit and making money. But if you take away money, if money's not a factor for you, why would you start? Right. Why would you do it?
I think there's something so special about, I don't know, I think candles can be, I enjoy making them even though they fail. But the creativity side behind the marketing of it, and the designing a new product, a new scent, and like giving it to someone, that I think candles can be like, not sentimental, they can be sentimental, but candles can be such a special gift. I know that they can be personal as well. Like sometimes you get a candle and it's not your scent and you're just like, oh, this is gross. Yeah. But I think it's like, can be such a sweet gift. And I just think it makes a house a home. I don't know. I feel like if you walk into a home and there's a candle lit and you smell this distinct smell that's so good, you're just like, oh, so I remember my drama teacher.
Yeah.
She had the most amazing candles. Every time I'd walk in there, it would smell like the best thing ever. And I just wanted to blow out the candles to get like that smell more.
Yeah,
you know that?
smell.
Yeah.
I love the after
Her
smell.
house just smelled so beautiful. And I think,
Yeah, that's cool. So with all the different things you're doing, I have an interesting question. Who told you could do it?
No one. Like, I don't know, maybe those motivational people you see on TikTok that's like, you can do it if you, like, you can do anything.
I swipe past them very fast.
Very fast.
And the videos that are like, I'm sidetracking, but the videos that are like, stop.
Yeah.
Like,
you're like,
wait.
no,
And I'm like,
go.
Bye-bye.
That didn't work anymore on me. I know what you're doing. But I think no one, I guess, told me I could do it. I think more people would tell me that I couldn't. Like,
have you had many people tell you that you can't?
Probably a few. Not the fact that I'm incapable as the time factor. Like, I know that some of my close friends, I'm like, when I started Pilates, they were like, how can you don't have time to do that? What? Like, you can't do that. And then it gave me more determination to finish it. So I finished it. Yeah. But like, it's not the fact that they think I'm incapable. It's just like, they know how busy I am. But I have so many things that I'm so like passionate about and excited about that I forget that I also have a life that continues to go. So,
but at the same time, this period of your life, and especially when you finish school, it's like you currently have the most time you will ever have.
I know. And the least amount of money I'll ever have, so. Also,
yes.
Sorry, we'll see how that goes.
But no, I really like that. Like, I think a lot of the times we can get stuck. I think sometimes people are waiting for permission to do something.
Yeah.
They're waiting for someone to tell them that they're allowed to do it, or that they even can do it.
Or they should.
Yeah.
Like, you should do this.
And I think, I've mentioned it here or there before on the podcast, but me being homeschooled, I've been to a couple of different like private school and public school, but being homeschooled and with my parents and their mentalities and what they've shared with me, like I've never waited for permission to do anything. Like I'm
That's
like the
crazy
world.
to me.
Yeah, the world is the way I look at it, and I say this also in a very humble, trying not to be ego way, because it's not that I think I'm amazing or I'm great or I have the talent or skills to do anything.
Yeah.
But I just believe that almost anything is possible. Like the world is my oyster. Not for me to dominate and control, not that side of things, but like, you know, you can do almost anything.
I believe that to an extent.
Yeah. What's your take?
I think like you definitely can do your like mind is your biggest barrier, I think.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to wait for other people's approval to do anything. But I think like if I said I wanted to open if I said that I wanted to, I don't know, be a doctor, for example. And like I think no matter how hard I tried to become a doctor, I don't think that I would be able to, just purely for the fact that not that I'm dumb, I'm just not smart. Like,
you know what, Tamae? If you wanted to be a doctor, I believe you could do it. It might take a few more years than the normal person.
Or I think...
Sorry, I just called you abnormal. I didn't mean that.
Let's just cut that doctor. So no, I mean probably more from the take I'm trying to word this wisely.
Yeah.
More from the take that I'm coming from is... I don't know how to word this.
We each have certain limitations.
Yeah, I think money probably, the way that I'm looking at it, money is probably the biggest barrier for people, I think, to get to where they want to be. And I know that there's ways to earn money, but I think sometimes like it can come in the way of people basically doing anything. And it's, I guess, I don't know if it's just a harsh reality that I look out in the world upon. And I think that you can do most things and your mind is probably your biggest barrier. But then I would say money shouldn't.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I agree. But I also think that if you want something, you find a way around those barriers. Like if you really want
Depends how bad you want it. Yeah.
I think it comes down to how bad do you want it.
Yeah, exactly. I do agree in most cases for that.
Yeah, obviously there are
exceptions and stuff.
And some people have other limitations.
Yeah.
So being 17, being in grade 12, having these big ambitions and sharing them with people, do you feel like sometimes people don't take you seriously when you're talking about what you're wanting to do or what you are doing because of your age?
I would say no for the fact that I choose who I hang around.
Yeah. So if they're like, I don't like that idea, you're like, all right.
Yeah, but no, I just surround myself with people that I know speak life into my life and encourage me. And I'm really blessed that I have like people that I can rely on to hang out with like that.
Yeah.
I think obviously I could definitely find people that would say, oh, you're too young to do it. But I don't think I've ever limited myself on my age. There's been times where I felt limited.
Yeah.
But myself, I don't think I've limited.
That's really
on
cool.
my age. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Live, laugh, love. Any silence I feel with live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, laugh.
You said it wrong. Live,
laugh,
love.
love.
Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love. Live, laugh, love.
Yeah,
live,
that's
laugh,
it.
love.
Good job.
Live, laugh, love. So, Tamae, can anyone be creative?
Yes, 100%. I think everyone is creative, born with creativity, but it's something that some people choose to grow as a skill, and other people choose probably not to invest time into being creative, and that's okay. I think, but definitely creativity is involved in everyday life without even realizing it. Like, from jobs so obvious as like being in a musical or like digital media or stuff like that. Like that's definitely creative, but all the way from that to like I was talking about before, like a doctor, that you have to be creative in problem solving and like creative, and there's like so many avenues of creativity.
How do you define creativity? What is creativity to you?
I think creativity is an outlet per se, about like creativity is a way in which you outlet the thoughts that you have that are outside the box thinking, I would say.
Okay.
Like, but I don't know, it's so hard to describe creativity in a few words or in a specific definition. I think creativity can be so broad. But creativity can be from the smallest of things of moving your room around to doing an artwork. You can be creative. I think everyone uses some sort of creativity throughout the day. It's just depends on whether that's something you enjoy, being creative or not, I think.
Okay.
I don't think everyone enjoys being creative.
No, I think some people like to stick with like set routines and set systems and things that are the same and stick in the same patterns.
An analytical probably mindset more rather than a creative mindset. I would say people who are greatly driven, what's the right word? Greatly driven to a creative mindset. Greatly is not the right word. Let me put my sentences together. I'm so tired. People who are more creatively driven. That's right. There we go. Got there in the end. Probably a more spontaneous, in the moment type of things with less organization. The only reason I say that is because for creativity there isn't a rules or a list of things you need to do. And I think creativity doesn't have any rules, so you could have rules to be creative, but like I think creativity is something that has no boundaries, so reach the stars.
Nice, interesting. That's cool. So I talk a lot about having a vision for your life, okay, and having a bit of an idea of, you know, what you're wanting, where you're wanting to go and what you're wanting to do with your life. You know, we're talking about being intentional, and this is something that a lot of people sometimes don't like to think about because it seems like too big, or it seems like overwhelming, or like I don't even know where I'm going to be next year, or what I'm like, what if I'm going to have the same job in a few months. So I'm not really talking about like a detailed, right now anyway, a detailed plan, or like where you're going to be in 5 years. But for your life, with what you know now about yourself, what do you see? Like, is there something for your vision for your life that you can share? Like where you want to be, or you shared about, you know, maybe having a law firm or something, but like outside of work, like what type of life do you want?
I like being completely, probably like real. I want to live a life where I'm not afraid to not do what I want to do, but do what the Lord calls me. I think I want to be able to live my life, not doing what I think's the best, but where God wants me and what He wants for my life. And taking one day at a time. And I could probably tell you where I'd like to be in 5 years, whether that's where I end up or not. But I think taking one day at a time and being intentional and attentive to what God wants for me and my day. And I would like to be living a life that's following Him and His purpose for me, not my own desires.
That's cool. I heard someone put it this way. I'm probably rewording it a bit, but you know, our future is filled up of just multiple todays. So if I can just do my best today, be intentional about the day that I have today, about loving the people around me, about doing the best with what's in front of me and with what I have, that multiplies. And like when I look back in 10 years time into my past, like I'll probably be like amazed or at least, you know, satisfied. And maybe, I don't know if satisfied is the right word, but with happy about being intentional.
If you live intentionally, I don't think you'll have any regrets.
Richard Branson, who was the founder, I think I got that right, of Virgin, one of the airline companies. I think they've closed down in Australia recently because of COVID. But yeah, he's an amazing guy. Love him. Never met him before, but inspired by all his stuff and what he does. And he's got a couple quotes here. And he says, if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you are not sure you can do it, say yes and then learn how to do it later.
Yeah.
And I think it's him or someone else that also says something similar along the lines of like, about jumping out of a plane and like build your parachute on the way down or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. What do you think of that?
I agree. I agree. I agree.
Live, laugh, laugh.
Live, laugh, laugh. I think I was watching a doctor TV show.
The Good Doctor?
No.
Grey's Anatomy?
Yes. I was watching Grey's Anatomy, and whoever's in charge of them, I forgot, but she said, do you know how to do this type of surgery? And both of them was like, yep. And then she's like, great, you guys are both on it. And then they asked each other, oh, do you know how to do it? And they're like, nope. And they're like, oh, well, we better learn. So it's like,
I feel like that's
an extreme,
that's probably where you
circumstance.
don't.
But I think, definitely, I agree with saying yes and then learning how to do it pretty fast. But
and obviously
learning how to do it,
obviously as a guide, like, in business practices or in other places, like there's certain things.
I'm not just going to cut someone over. Gonna be like, I'm here for your surgery. I just 5 minutes ago learned about it, so I'm just going to be doing it. But I think with wisdom, saying yes, and if it's something that you feel called, or it's part of your purpose or your values in life, and it's something that aligns with the values, say yes and then learn how to do it. But I think it's all about being intentional and what you want as an outcome of that situation or circumstance, or how you want that to, I guess, be a part of your life and reflect in your life.
And that takes like a lot of self-awareness of like knowing who we are to an extent, like, what we're interested in, what we like, and where we're wanting to go. And that takes time to work out, but
I think like to fully understand your purpose in life, you need to fully understand your identity.
And how does that look for you in your life?
Well,
deep questions tonight.
It is some deep questions. I think for me personally, my identity purely comes from Christ and God. Like, I wouldn't know myself to the extent that I do unless I knew who God called me to be and my purpose. But my identity purely comes from Christ and God and who He created me to be. Because without Him, I'm nothing on my own, and I recognize that. I think He has a specific purpose for my life, and I find peace knowing that He has a plan. I think if I didn't trust that He had a plan for me and that my identity is founded in Him, not on my own success or circumstances, if I depended my identity on my success and what I wanted for my life, I think I'd be very lost. But knowing that my identity rests in God and my plans, and He has plans for me, I become so peaceful because I know that I don't have to worry about it. It's on Him, kind of thing. So it's on you, God. So but being intentional and attentive to what God wants for me. I heard someone say, and it was put quite well. Bree Swan says this. She's like a Christian influencer on Instagram and stuff, and she's probably around our age, but she
we're not the same age.
Around your age, Elisha. And she says that your purpose in life is not to be successful, but you are successful when you are living out your purpose. And I'll probably say it one more time because I know that when I hear things for the first time, I'm like, oh my gosh, what do they say? Your purpose in life is not to be successful, but you are successful when you are living out your purpose. And I think that that's such a good way to put it. We're successful when we live out our purpose, but our purpose isn't to be successful. I think it just kind of goes hand in hand. Successful in the way of we're not meant to have it all together and be perfect and have $1 million in the bank, but when we're living out what God wants us to be, that's when we're fully successful and truly successful.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you for sharing.
That's okay. Story time.
Story time. Couch Talks with Tamae and Elisha.
Woo.
The last quote by Richard Branson that I wanted to share is, you don't learn to walk by following rules. You learn by doing and by falling over. And I think for me, what comes to mind is that, you know, when we spend so much time overthinking our decisions or where we're going to go or what we're going to do or the right way to do something, within context, there are some things which need to be done the right way. But when it comes to a lot of creative endeavors or stepping out, I think sometimes we overthink ourselves into doing nothing. And I think we actually learn more by stepping out and even making the wrong decisions, falling over, getting back up again.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree 110%. Shout out to Tia, 100%.
100%. That's her saying, isn't it? From
yeah, that's what she kept saying.
2.
But I think you definitely, in order for you to make mistakes, you got to step out and give it a go. It's like learning how to surf. You just got to keep getting knocked over by the waves before you can finally do it.
Getting back on the board. Yeah.
Yeah, not that I've mastered that skill yet. But keep getting back on the board, you know. I think, and reminding yourself that it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Because like it's something new, and I think it's important to make mistakes, because if you never did, never gonna learn.
Yeah.
Resilience, and I think resilience in a creativity aspect is so important. Like with many things, even though creativity has no boundaries, a lot of the times you're not gonna probably be happy with the thing that you produced the first time around. Like like my candles, for example.
Your first candle probably
like
wasn't.
I was so disappointed. I was like, are you kidding me?
Instagram
like
worthy.
What? I was ready to like get a whole batch going, and I was like, what just happened? This was not it. But
your first podcast episode.
Yeah, that is an issue. The the technology part of it. I'm not a very tech savvy person, so it's been a learning journey. But I think definitely you got to put your feet in the water, test the water. But like you definitely got to. You can't just put your toes in the water. You got to jump in and try and stay afloat. Grab that surfboard, learn how to surf. But a lot of metaphors here, but definitely it's okay to make mistakes, and it's important as well to make mistakes to grow that resilience.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Live, laugh, love. Is that how it goes?
That's how it goes.
Thanks for coming on the podcast today, Tamae, and having a chat.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
We'll have to get you and Keely, your friend, on sometime soon when you guys have launched your podcast to have a chat about how that's going, and to share a bit more about the journey on like why you guys got started and what you've done so far. That'd
be really cool. I can't wait for that. Hopefully our first episode comes out soon. If you want to follow us
little plug
on Instagram, little plug, Sunday Search on Instagram.
The Sunday Search or just Sunday Search?
Just Sunday Search.
Sunday Search
just
on
Sunday
Instagram.
Search on Instagram.
We'll have the link in the bio.
What?
I don't know why I just did like the YouTube like pointed down to the bottom when we're not filming now.
But yeah, make sure to follow the socials like on Instagram. It's actually only on Instagram, so make sure to follow on Instagram to keep up with the updates on when our episodes are coming out and stuff, and that'll be really exciting.
Yeah, awesome. And I just wanted to mention to May that I've always been impressed with how intentional you are with how you do things, what you put time to, what you prioritize, and how you treat those around you.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
And I am excited to see where you go over the next few years.
Oh, thanks. Me too. I'm ready to graduate too. Have a good night, guys, or morning, or lunch, or whenever you're listening.
Yeah, or have a good drive to work, or gym session, or
makeup. I usually listen to podcasts doing my makeup, so
same.
Oh yeah,
not same.
but
yeah.
Have a good multitasking.
Have a good life.
Have a good life. Have a good day.
No,
bye, guys.
Have a great day. Bye, guys.
Bye.